Hey, Leah.
Ahoy, Paige.
Hey, you ready to get ready for the show?
Why,
Why are you talking like that?
because it's National Talk Like a Pirate Day.
It is?
It is.
Should I talk that way?
I think so.
I don't know if the viewers will like it.
I don't think I can keep that up for the whole show.
Cool eye patch, though.
You like?
Yeah, let's just go get ready.
Happy Tuesday, Delmarva. Thanks for being here with us today on Coast Life. We are your hosts. I'm Paige Marley.
I'm Leah Rizzo, and if you've never joined us for Coast Life before, this is, especially if you're new to the area, because I know we've had a lot of people that have moved down to coastal Delmarva, whether you're near the Delaware beaches, Milford, Ocean City. We basically take you along with us, and we explore all kinds of events going on. I mean, now's a great time for events, restaurants, just cool things to do, cool people to introduce you to in the area.
That's right. We're going to be here with you Monday through Friday from 4 to 5, showing you just all of the best that the Delmarva coast has to offer.
Yeah, but we also like to talk about what you're talking about, and this piqued our interest. We were talking about how if you're on a dating app, ladies, how would you feel if you're swiping along and all of a sudden you see a guy who's clearly got a beauty filter on?
Ick.
Gives you the ick?
I don't like it.
Well, so it makes me think now sort of the other way around. Like, I'm sure guys also feel deceived a little bit when they're scrolling through and they see women with beauty filters on. And I think as beauty filters get better and better, it's also more and more disappointing to then look in the mirror.
That is for sure.
But it's interesting because it seems like, according to the survey, that women thought that men who used beauty filters were more deceitful, less trustworthy. But they also scored them as more attractive. And as it turns out, that attractiveness rating outranked the trustworthiness rating when it came to deciding whether or not to go on a date with this guy.
Guys. Okay, also, of course they're more attractive. They have a beauty filter on.
Right?
Come on. This is one of those things where you're going to be like, Paige, but I'm nothing if not real with you guys, okay? I'm more understanding of the women using the beauty filter than the men. I'm sorry. I know it's wrong. I just am. I don't think we should be doing it as often as we are, especially on dating apps. I can see how that would be deceitful. But here's the thing, too, and it's just the way life goes. Men rarely realize when a photo is filtered.
Yes.
And we can tell when you're using the filters.
Yes.
So that's not our fault that you can't tell when we have the beauty filters on.
True. And I mean, I think, it's rhetoric that you see online a lot, especially, and I think less so now than you did maybe 5-6 years ago, where guys would be like, take her swimming on a first date so all the makeup washes off, and you'd be like, ugh.
Original.
I feel like beauty filters are different from makeup in the sense that makeup can be, a lot of times it's just fun. It's a form of self-expression. It's an art.
And it's enhancing.
It's enhancing, and again, I feel like it's usually pretty obvious when somebody is wearing makeup, and it is. It's fun. I love switching out my eyeshadow colors to go with my outfits or the seasons. Like, for me, it's just been fun, whereas with beauty filters, I think it becomes less fun and more damaging, more unhealthy for both men and women, because again, suddenly your reflection in the mirror is not the person that you're staring at in those photos.
It's very true. And it's sad to see that we've gotten to the point, because I think what I would have preferred to see happen is we stop using beauty filters more and more. And instead what I think has happened is the opposite. We are still using them, and now the men are joining us. It's like we should all dial back, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, I know. And I wish I could too. But something else that maybe we should all dial back on a little bit is phone usage. And if this doesn't kind of shock you a little bit, and we can sort of dissect this statistic as well, but it seems like parents are spending more time on their phones than they do with their kids.
So I know, because I get what you're saying about dissecting this, because I think when you first hear this, it's like, parents, bad. But it's the truth that most parents, spend more time at work than with their kids. Kids spend more time at school than with their parents. So I think it's just kind of the way that life is set up. I mean, I'm on my phone and computer all the time because our job requires that.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, I'm on my phone more than, I don't have kids, but more than I'm with my significant other probably.
Yeah, and I would guess that, you know, most of that time is probably spent at work. You're scrolling through your phone while you're on your break or whatever. Like, your phone is attached to you. We know that. And that's not to say that there isn't time where both parents and kids are on their devices when they're at home. And I do think we need to dial that back a little bit. I mean, all week I've been saying in my head to myself, I'm like, all right, I got to start cutting down on my social media hours. Like I have to.
Same.
And because like when I switched phones, I now don't have it tracking my time. And I think I need to reinstate that because it challenges me when I see like you spent 4 hours online. I'm like, no.
Oh, that's actually good compared to what I got.
Yeah, so
It's
I've always tried to dial it back, but that doesn't mean when I'm not doing that, I'm also, I'm on my laptop then, or I'm doing something else electronic. So.
But I am curious if, like, compared to us, if maybe parents spend less time on their phone than we do, because, like, we don't have kids, so when we go home, we are maybe scrolling more than a parent is. I don't know. I would just need to see how they conducted the survey because, like I said, I think at first it sounds shocking, but it might really not.
We want to make you smart viewers.
Yeah,
when you hear those
exactly.
statistics,
Yeah,
don't always believe it right away without some critical thinking.
We're testing you.
But sort of speaking of generational shifts, this is something that I thought was interesting too, because I think a lot of times we talk about like, oh, Gen Z this, Gen Z that, but it seems like casual speak, more slang is popping up in the office, less formalities, even with like email signatures. Nobody's saying best regards anymore or sincerely. Like it's not. To whom this may concern doesn't really pop up. I mean, for me, maybe on a resume or a cover letter, but nothing else.
Right. I think it's always funny. Do you have this on your Gmail when you're starting to sign a letter and an email, and it'll automatically fill in for you something like best regards to whom it may concern, and I'm like, that's not how I talk. So I do hope this trend doesn't continue too much because I don't want to lose like professionalism in the workplace. But I'm the first one. I mean, especially when we're not filming, maybe a little more slang is in my conversation at work. So I think it's good to relate.
Yeah, I think so too. And it just depends on, I think you can still keep slang professional.
Yes.
I mean, I was talking to one of our bosses today that I was like, is that unprofessional? Because I often will greet them with like, what up?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, is that weird?
I don't know. Yeah, or like and I hate that I do it, but I go like, yes, queen, and I hate that I do it. I know, but like I think I said it to our boss the other day. I'm like, thanks, queen, and then I was like, oh, I don't know if she would appreciate that. She did.
Yep.
But
So I think it helps.
There's a line.
I think it helps sort of that team bonding, team
Yes.
building. If you speak to each other the way you normally would, I think emails maybe with like clients, people you don't know, maybe you keep it a little bit more professional.
Definitely.
But I think internal emails to your other coworkers.
Definitely.
Fair game.
Yeah, I'm not going to get mad if you're not like, good morning, Paige. How are you?
Yes.
Good to see you today. Yeah.
To whom it may concern.
I would be like, Leah, what's wrong?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. It'd be off-putting. But what's not off-putting at all is the show we've got for you today. And our field correspondent, Maya Henry, is going to tell us what's coming up on Coast Life.
Coming up next, we're making your home sparkle with Heather's Homeworks. And prepare to be spooked by the Cemetery House in Laurel. And learn the key to self-defense with Seaside Krav Maga. All that and more when Coast Life gets back.
Coast Life is brought to you by BB Healthcare, Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, Preston Automotive Group, Shell Brothers, and the Parker Group.
Pumpkin spice, cool, crisp mornings can only mean one thing.
Fall.
Spooky season is here! And here to tell us more about a way you can get some good scares for spooky season, all for a good cause, is Scott Allen with Cemetery House. Welcome, Scott.
Hey, thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming in today. And you're going to be telling us about Cemetery House. It's a local haunted house, and you guys really give back to the community. So just tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, we do. It's completely for charity. Obviously, once we pay for our materials, we redo the house every single year. It's gutted, and we start all new scenes, all new props, everything.
Wow.
So we've been doing this for 31 years as of this year. It's $10 per person, so it is the cheapest on the shore, and the longest running and the longest. It takes about 40 minutes to go through.
Oh wow!
I love that. Sometimes haunted houses, you pay a lot and it's just you're in and out.
Yep, and you're like,
Exactly,
I wasn't even
exactly.
scared.
Right, exactly. That's great. And you can get people in the community involved too. You mentioned earlier some groups that you're looking to get involved with the house.
Sure, yeah. We have a lot of youth groups. We like to have teenagers help out. They're going to have guidance from us. It's a very safe place to volunteer, and it can be used towards their community hours.
Yeah, and it's fun too.
Yes.
That's a fun volunteer project.
Right.
So what do maybe some of these groups when they get involved? What are they doing?
can't tell you.
Oh,
I love
secrets.
that.
I love it too.
There's a lot of things that we do.
Awesome. So, what can family, I guess, what's the age group that you want of people to kind of come out to Cemetery House when they go for the haunted house? Because like sometimes it can be a little too scary for the little guys.
We've had people in with the baby backpacks.
Nice.
It's insane. So, but we have psychiatrist cards so that we can hand out to them because they're going to need it in the future.
That is so good.
That's awesome. I know some of our radio stations have been there broadcasting before in the past, and they've all said that it's an incredible time. So what can you maybe tell us that attendees can experience when they come to Cemetery House in Laurel?
Well, the first thing that they're going to do, they're going to park at the Laurel Volunteer Fire Department. We'll take the hayride around the cemetery. There's an actual cemetery. Once they get their tickets at the event, you'll get in line. There'll be a corn maze, underground tunnels, and then a 2-story house.
Ooh, very cool.
Underground tunnels?
Underground tunnels.
Great. I don't know that I can make it in the underground
Right,
tunnels.
now I'm like, wait a minute.
I'm starting to sweat.
Yeah.
Now, since there is an actual cemetery there, have you ever had any experiences with an actual ghost?
There's been some things. There's a mausoleum there, and I've heard some stories.
In the underground tunnels?
Yeah, the underground tunnels, that was quite an achievement to build those.
I'm going to need you to hold my hand, Leah, when we go.
I will.
I'm
We'll
a
be all
scaredy
right.
cat.
We'll be okay.
Okay.
So how can people who maybe want to get involved, whether they want to volunteer on their own or as a youth group, how can they get involved in helping out with Cemetery House?
Just reach out to us through our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Cemetery House. And cemetery is spelled with all E's, no A's.
Gotcha.
That's good to know.
Yes, very good to know.
That took me a while.
And when does Cemetery House, like when do the hours, when does everything start up?
We're always open the last 3 Friday and Saturday nights in October. So we're only open 6 nights, which is why we have so many per night. But we keep everyone moving. Our busiest night, I asked people, if their wait was too long, and all of them said it was great. They went through nice and fast, and it worked out real well for them.
Especially for how long the walk is, like you mentioned. You get to spend a good amount of time in the house. I'm sure a little line is worth it.
Yeah, it's not that bad. And we have our entertainers out mixing with the crowds also, keeping them entertained. So it's still part of the event, even though you're waiting to go in.
Awesome. Well, lots to look forward
Yes,
to
I'm
with
really
Cemetery
looking
House.
forward to
So if you like a good scare, make sure you check out Cemetery House. Scott's going to be the guy to see. And if you want to volunteer as well.
Definitely.
But we're not going to scare you with the COASTLIFE, which we do have a little bit more of that headed your way, so don't go anywhere. Paige, do you ever get jealous when you're driving around and all of a sudden you see these homes with gorgeous, gorgeous lawns and you're like, oh, I want that?
Because I try so hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's
Always.
just something that you can't really achieve on your own, or it's very difficult to achieve on your own. And it can also be hard to pick the right lawn care service, one that's gonna maybe be a little bit better for your lawn, better for the environment. There's a lot to consider.
There is. That's why I definitely need some help.
Yes, and you can get that help with our friends at AC Plant and Turf in Lewis and Selbyville.
Lichens here, that's normal. Not gonna harm the tree.
For Terry Wooters, being a plant care manager for AC Plant and Turf isn't just about passion, it's also about purpose.
This felt like exactly what I wanted. Being able to give people answers to why their plants were struggling, helping them. I felt like I could have more of an impact on my community, essentially.
And he's been having that impact for 6 years now. The company itself has existed since 2014. It was started by outdoor enthusiast Richie Thurman.
I, was driven and wanted to have my own business, but at the same time, I wanted to be outside.
And so he made that happen. AC Plant and Turf has grown to include a turf care division and a consulting division. But the plant care division is how it began.
And that is all trees and shrubs, anything that's woody that grows on your property. We have a very holistic approach to that.
That holistic approach, according to Terry, starts with soil.
I often start with a list of the major stressors affecting the plants, and at the beach there's a lot with wind, salt, poor soil quality. But I'm mainly focusing on improving the soil quality, what plants can help improve the soil quality, which ones are just not in the right location, and which plants would do better in that location. Here we have some roses. A lot of people have a lot of concerns about roses.
Yeah.
They are a high maintenance shrub. And that means you're going to have a lot of pests attacking them. They need pruned a lot. They have their own pruning specifications. These are in a bit of shade right now, and they would honestly prefer some of that, because what you're seeing here with the browning and yellowing of the leaf.
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, yellow roses are very sensitive to heat, and with heat you get spider mite infestations, and you can see the dust of spider mites right there is the white dust. So they're feeding on the sap of the leaf. But that's not all I look at for roses. They're usually very disease prone, especially when exposed to a lot of stress. Diseases will show up as cankers in the branches, or sunken in dead spots, or spots on the leaf. Usually the best control is pruning that out, but we definitely have treatments that would cover pretty much anything that ails a rose bush.
Terry teaches homeowners to stay vigilant too.
And it's just an eye on the soil moisture. We have irrigation systems that run on their own. It's a really good idea to learn those. Watch where lawn irrigation might overlap irrigation for the plants, and trying to allow the soil to dry up before watering again.
It's this digging deep approach that sets AC Plant and Turf apart from other tree companies.
We don't do any trimming, we don't do the removals. We really focus on just saving trees, building up healthy landscapes on properties, and pest and disease management.
Richie says a lot of times that means working with homeowners on rescuing, not replacing.
So looking at the overall cost year to year, you can take care of a tree for 20 years for the cost of just removing it once and replacing it. So getting people to understand the fact of when you ask who are, competition-wise, it's knowledge, right? Teaching people of, hey, caring for your plant material makes more sense than letting it decline and then spending all the money to remove and replacement.
AC Plant and Turf also has multiple arborists on staff, which benefits homeowners in big ways.
Benefits of having multiple arborists at AC Plant and Turf is having multiple scientific backgrounds, and the experience behind each arborist is going to be different, let alone the things they are noticing, and the diagnosis can range pretty variably. So we can feed off each other and come to a solid conclusion over what's affecting any given tree or shrub, and not only go from there, but improve our programs that treat for those issues as well.
And when those issues get treated, homeowners are happy.
They're thanking me for all the helpful information for them to be able to take care of their plants on their own, or at least supplement whatever treatments we're doing.
And content clients are clutch for this company.
We have a really aggressive staff that works in the office to make sure they're answering the phones, answering people's questions, and getting back to people with solid answers. We're also really focused on letting you know when we're going to be on the property, and our technicians are really good about communicating to clients of, hey, we see this issue, and we're going to fix the issue. We try to be really proactive, and if we see a problem, we want you to know that there's a problem and that we're in the process of fixing it.
So whether the crew from AC Plant and Turf visits your property a few times a year or a few times a month, this is a team you, your plants, and your trees can truly trust.
Thanks, Katie. And yes, the lawn looks beautiful.
So beautiful, yes. Thanks so much, Katie. Definitely going to have to give them a call.
For sure,
Yes.
but stay in your seat
Yes.
because it is Tuesday. That means we are getting you home safely. We'll check in with our friends at Seaside Krav Maga in Lewis next.
Leah, you and I earlier, we were talking about true crime.
Yes, we were.
Yes.
And sometimes you get a little invested in true crime and a little bit scared.
Yeah.
And that's why we really love our self-defense tips that we get and ways to keep us safe with Seaside Krav Maga in Lewis. Chris and Ted do a phenomenal job in walking us
best.
through some of this stuff.
Because sometimes, like you said, it's scary when you're just chatting about true crime and then you realize it's true. These are real stories that have happened. So to help us out today, Chris and Ted are going to talk to us about what predators look for and things you might be doing that could make you an easy target. So take a look at this.
Predator is really looking for an easy target, right? The predator doesn't want somebody that's going to fight back, put up a fight. We sometimes say the predator doesn't want to get injured or doesn't want to get caught. But the reality is a lot of these predators and bad guys, bad women, are predators, and they've been injured or they've been in jail before, so it's not their first go around. So the fact that they might get caught maybe isn't going to stop them, but they're looking for an easy target, basically. Somebody that's distracted.
This is a horrible situation. Hopefully you had an alarm, you had a dog, you heard something didn't feel right. If the person came home with you, maybe something didn't feel right, we should end it early. But if I'm down here to here, you're gonna grab the back of my head, you're gonna put your thumb in my eye, you're gonna bend your right leg, push and roll. Yes! Okay, you're out, great, hit me and get up. They did a study where they took a film of a New York City street to prison, to predators, individually, and all of them picked the same people. It's their body language. The person that's not paying attention, they're on their phone, the person that's walking like they're afraid, not the person who's standing up, making quick 2 to 3 second eye contact, I've seen you, and is walking with a purpose. That person becomes, in their mind, too much of a hard target. It's not worth the risk to them. Let's forget about Leah. Let's go find somebody that's going to be easier. They don't want to get in a tussle. They don't want to get, hurt. And the other thing is they're going to tell you what will ruin their plan. They're going to say, don't scream, don't run, or I'll kill you. Those are the two things that ruin their plan. You better start doing it, because if they're willing to kill you here, imagine when they get you around behind the building or into the van and now they have 3 hours to deal with you. Draw the line in the sand here and go.
This segment of Coast Life was brought to you by Seaside Krav Maga.
If you've been watching Coast Life for a little while now, you know we love to introduce you to some hidden gems, and maybe Berlin is one of those towns for you. And they've always got something really interesting and really unique going on, like the Fiddlers Convention. Here to tell us more is Ryan Nellens on the Coast Life couch with me today. How's it going?
It's doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, every time you're here, you've got something interesting to talk about. Last time we saw you, it was the Berlin bathtub races.
It was.
And I'm sure the image of our Berlin bathtub that we built here on Coast Life lives on in your head forever.
Burned right into my noodle.
Yes, well, we'll work on that for next year. But coming up this weekend, you guys have another really great event coming up. Tell me about the Berlin Fiddlers Convention.
So the Fiddlers Convention is going on for its 31st year. We have got a tremendous show set up for you, and cards on the table. I might have gone a little bit over budget on the entertainment.
Okay.
So we have our whole weekend lined up, right? We have Friday, we have Saturday, we have Sunday. Friday night is usually what we call our locals night. So Friday night, we're gonna have the High and Wides and the Plate Scrapers both playing. If you're not familiar with these bands, they are fan favorites. We've had the High and Wides play last year. Plate Scrapers, I've heard nothing but good things about. Saturday, we're going to have our competition from about 10 to 12, maybe run over a little bit. And then we're going to have Rebecca Frazier open up for Songs from the Road Band. And those are two excellent, excellent performances. On Sunday, Miss Suzette is going to be giving a gospel performance on the Taylor House lawn, and we're very excited about that.
Sounds beautiful. Now I know there's a competition, right?
On Saturday morning.
So on Saturday morning, there's that competition. Can people still register, and how old do you have to be to participate in this competition?
There's no age limit, but we do have the bracket set up for youth or adult. If you're really good, compete with the grown-ups.
There you go.
You know, and that's going to be from 10 to 12, and we've got plenty of room left. Register online. If you're registered online, you have priority.
Very fun. So this is going to be a great family-friendly event. It gets everybody out of the house. We're looking forward to some of those cooler fall temps. I know there's also some vendors, some food. Tell me a little bit about that as somebody who's just attending the Fiddlers Convention, what they can expect.
So we have a bunch of staples that I'm very keen on, right? We have a lady named Claire who makes peanut brittle. If you are at all interested in that, come on down. She's wonderful. Eastern Shore Kettle Corn is going to be there. We've got Street Kitchen, we've got Sessa's, all of our businesses downtown, all of our restaurants are also open. So you can come down, you'll be able to get a bite to eat at one of our fantastic restaurants. I think we've got like 7 or 8 of them now.
Yeah.
And you're not going to miss a beat. You'll be here for everything.
Yeah, Berlin's really got a lot going on. Seriously, if you've never been to check it out, this is going to be a great opportunity to do so. And it really sort of has that close-knit community feel and celebrates a lot of talent.
It does, and you're 100% right. We have an extremely close community, and we're really, really fortunate to have that.
Yeah.
I mean, events like this, they don't happen just because one person's out there doing something. It happens because we've got over 24 volunteers that are signed up to come give very generously of their time.
Yeah.
And if anyone else wants to get involved with any of our events, I have registration online, and get in touch, drop me a line.
Awesome. Well, it's going to be a great event. Ryan, thank you so much for coming in and telling us about the Berlin Fiddlers Convention. One more time, I know things kick off Friday, but give us the dates as well.
So Friday, September 22nd, we have our locals night from 6 to 10. Saturday, the 23rd, starting at about 10 o'clock in the morning, we're going to have our contest. Then we're going to have Rebecca Frazier. Then we're going to have songs from the Road Band. On Sunday, we're going to have Miss Suzette with a gospel performance at the Taylor House Museum lawn, and I believe that's going to be around 10 or 11 in the morning.
Perfect. So it's going to be a jam-packed event, jam, like a little jam session.
Oh yeah, there's actually, that's the nice thing. It's almost all bluegrass, and we have just a really, these guys like to rock.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Good, good. Well, we're excited too. Well, Ryan, once again, thank you so much for coming in and telling us about the Berlin Fiddlers Convention. And don't go anywhere because there's more Coast Life and more events to tell you about when we get back.
Marking 20 years and awarded Best Cleaning Company in Sussex County by Coastal Style in 2020, 2022, and 2023 makes Heather's Homeworks the perfect company to have your home spick and span. Servicing year-round, Operations Manager Lexi Santa Barbara lets us in on properties they service in Lower Eastern Sussex County.
Heather's Homeworks is a residential and commercial cleaning company that services the Lower Eastern Sussex County. We mainly service year-round residential homes, seasonal homes, and commercial properties.
House cleaning remains a chore for many, making a custom cleaning service the perfect option.
Something that we pride ourselves on is making sure that we create a customizable plan for every customer. Somebody might need something that somebody else doesn't, and so we want to make sure that we cater to that as much as possible. So we're able to educate our cleaners through work orders for every single customer that gives it very exact directions, where the customer lives, specific instructions about their home, their pets, the pets' names, so that we can create a good relationship with our customers as well as inform our cleaners as much as possible.
Heather's Homeworks not only provides customized plans, but customers will also receive a particular cleaning professional who services their home on a regular basis.
When a customer comes onto our service, we provide them options as far as scheduling. So they are assigned a particular cleaning professional, and that's who services their home on a regular basis. If that cleaning professional isn't available, we will make sure that we brief somebody else so that they're as informed as possible. But we really pride ourselves on the client-cleaner relationship.
Residential cleaning remains their largest division, allowing customers to enjoy spending time with family and friends.
I would say that our largest part is our residential division that we service year-round, whether that's on a monthly, bi-weekly, or weekly basis. And then we also service seasonal homes, private seasonal homes that are utilized May to September typically, because they have better things to do to spend time with their family and enjoy the beach. So we kind of take care of their home for them. And then commercial properties we typically service on a weekly or bi-weekly basis during business hours.
In addition to making homes sparkle, Heather's Homeworks improves the lives of many with their partnership with Cleaning for a Reason.
It's a nationwide charity that helps provide cleaning services for people who are undergoing cancer treatment. It's a very hard time in their life, and the last thing that they really have energy for is to clean their homes. So it's a way that our cleaners can give back to them and provide that service.
If someone you know is in need of this service, don't be afraid to call their local office for free cleaning services and discounted services after. Giving back remains an influential part of what Heather's Homework stands for, giving back to many within the community.
Heather, the owner, really encourages us as a team to be very involved in our community and give back to those that support us every day. So we are really involved with the Chamber of Commerce, Bethany Fenwick, as well as the Delaware Center of Inland Bays, the Breast Cancer Coalition in Delaware, among some other charities every year like Santa's Letters.
If you or someone you know is looking for a caring and dedicated cleaning service, Heather's Homeworks is a perfect choice to bring ease to your everyday life. There's more Coast Life on the way.
This segment of Coast Life was brought to you by Heather's Homeworks.
Can you guess where I am? It's a very famous place on the boardwalk and it has the best fries. Take a moment. Thrashers in Ocean City, Maryland. And today I am with Les Morse, the general manager. So Les, how are you doing?
Good, very good.
Tell me a little bit about your journey with Thrashers Fries.
Well, I've been here for 47 years. This location here has been here since 1929. So we've been in Ocean City a long time. We do have two other locations, up at 8th Street and at 2nd Street in Ocean City.
Yes, and you guys always have an extremely long line. Tell me why you think your Thrashers beats all the rest.
I think it's fresh cut French fries, so we do extra steps to make them the best. And people have been coming here for generations.
So how old were you when you started working with Thrashers?
16 years old, yep.
And you stuck with it this long?
Yes, 47 years.
And what made you stay? What made you think that Thrashers was your passion and your mission?
It's just Ocean City in the summertime. I love it here. It's so nice to come, and we have about 35 employees, and now we have J1 students from all over the world. And it's fun to meet these new young people, and you just make friends at a lifetime. Again, Ocean City, I love the peak season, and then we get a little break in the wintertime, even though we're open weekends year-round. So we don't get a big break, but just a wonderful place to work. Yeah.
So do you guys, you said you're open all year round. Do you guys still have that massive long line? Or?
Oh, yes. On weekends in the winter, over the Christmas break, if the weather gets up around 40 and sunshine, we'll get a line for 4 or 5 hours. Probably, up to 75 to 100 people in it.
And do you have any people that, like reoccurring customers that always come by? What are some of the things that they say about Thrashers?
Oh, it's a must for them. They said they come to Ocean City, and everybody else don't want to hear this, but they come get French fries and then they leave. But especially in the off season, they come down and get French fries, and it's even myself. I eat them every day I'm here. I've never missed a day of not eating some French fries. So I still love them after all these years.
I absolutely love them. What do you guys put in your Thrashers French fries and make them the absolute best?
It's just we use fresh cut potatoes, which a lot of people don't do that step. We cook them in peanut oil. Okay. It's 100% peanut oil, and it's our only product, so we just key on making it continuously the same all the time. Yeah, and then we put salt and vinegar on it, no ketchup. And like I said, I eat them every day. They're addicting.
If I worked here, I would be munching every single day.
Okay.
So I kind of want to know how this magic happens. Are you able to show me how it goes?
Sure. Let's go take a look.
All right, guys. About to head with Les, and we're about to make these magical fries.
All right.
even got to make my own bucket of Thrasher's fries. So Les, before we go and finish these bucket of fries, tell us the times and days that you're open.
We're open every morning at 10 a.m. at the inlet and 10:30 at 2nd and 8th Street. And we stay till the crowds are gone. Usually that's around 11 o'clock or midnight. And we're going to be open every day until 1st of November. And then we'll go weekends. So season's not quite over for us yet.
All right, you heard it, guys. Season's not quite over, so you definitely have time to stop by Thrasher's Fries.
All right, Leah, just a quick question for you. What is a pirate's favorite color?
Black?
No.
Like the sails or the beard?
It's a good, guess. No.
Not it.
No,
Okay.
sorry.
What about blue?
Like the sea?
Uh-huh.
No, it's not that.
Darn it. What
Sorry.
is it?
It's gold!
Oh, of course.
That was really bad. Sorry.
Well, that's all right. Today is Talk Like a Pirate Day, as we discussed earlier in the show. We decided not to talk like pirates for the whole show, but instead we wanted to share with you some of our favorite pirate jokes with today's joke jar. So take a look.
What does the pirate say when his legs get stuck in the freezer?
I have no idea what the pirate says when his legs get stuck on the freezer.
Shiver me timbers!
That was really funny.
How do pirates prefer to communicate?
How?
Eye to eye.
That is actually a really good one.
Wilson, what kind of grades did the pirate get in school? Oh, yeah? No, close. High C's! Oh, he hated it! Why did the pirate go to the Apple store?
Why?
He needed a new eye patch.
Because the eye.
Singular eye patch, yeah. Why did the pirate go on vacation?
To take a break from the heat.
Close. He needed a little R&R.
See? I was pretty close.
You were close. Thank you.
Where do pirates keep their valuables?
Where?
In a jar.
That one's good too.
The key is in the voice.
What is a pirate's favorite exercise?
What is a pirate's favorite exercise? I'm sure I don't know.
Think about it. This should be easy.
Okay. Elliptical.
What does elliptical have to do with pirates?
Elliptical machine.
What is a pirate's favorite exercise?
What is a pirate's favorite exercise? The treadmill.
No. Guess again.
Free weights.
No, the plank. You get it?
No.
Okay. So if you found any of those jokes funny, maybe you hated them.
Maybe you rolled your eyes a little too hard.
Maybe especially if you rolled your eyes. Just don't forget, you can send us your jokes, ones you think are funny, to team@coastlife.com, and we'll talk about them. We'll include them in some future joke jars.
Yeah, and there's a lot of reasons you should email us, team@coastlife.com, whether it's for our joke jar, whether it's to share some mom moments, or even if it's to share some drama for our Spill the Tea that we do.
So good. Yeah, please email us, team@coastlife.com. Don't forget it, write it down, and you can write it down while you just take a quick break, because we'll be right back. So before we let you guys go on this Tuesday, I want to take you back just a little bit ago. We had our Get Home Safely tip. And just a little reminder, Chris and Ted were telling us that if you guys watching have any scenario maybe you're scared about, you think about, or maybe unfortunately you were in a bad scenario a while ago and you think to yourself, how could I have better gotten out of it?
Yeah.
You can write to us or them, and they will include anything that you're worried about in the Get Home Safely tips. So I don't know, one thing that Chris's wife was saying was if you're a woman and someone shows up in your bed in the middle of the night. So Leah, you went through that with him?
Yes, and it is, I mean, like, there are so many scenarios that you don't even think about on your own, and then when they walk you through them, I mean, first of all, they are so professional, so nice, and they are, they're teaching you to defend yourself from these scary situations. But even as soon as you're put on your back like that unexpectedly, you're like, and but you see how that fight or flight response kicks in immediately, and if you don't have at least a plan or like the comfort level of knowing that you've been like, I can do this, then that's what they really do and what they really walk you through. And it really is awesome. I think they had also mentioned like maybe public transportation. I know there's a lot of, the buses run through the Delaware beaches a lot. Maybe you get on one at night and you're in a situation where you're like, you want to have your wits about you.
Definitely. So if maybe you have a college student, or maybe you are a college student and you're worried about walking home at night, or like Leah said, public transportation, just anything that you've thought, I'd like to know how to get out of this scenario, you can email us, team@coastlife.com. We'll ask Chris and Ted for you, and we'll start showing you those tips and get home safely. So again, team@coastlife.com. And again, when you go in person, especially, just really want to reiterate. I mean, there's been times when I'm like, I need a break, I'm getting a little uncomfortable, and they're like, you're good, 100%. So love them there. So don't forget, just let us know what you're thinking, and we'll do our best to make sure it gets on the show.
Yes, cool. But unfortunately, it was about that